Spotlight, we have Steve Rowe from the Derbyshire back group. Run! Okay, so looking forward to this. Ready? Hand you over to Steve. Thank you very much, Steve.
Tough. Cheers. Hi folks, we've got quite a busy summer coming up. As Matt said, we've got enthusiast projects coming up. Hadn't quite realised how much stuff we've got on this year until all the dates came through the other day. We're 30 years old this year, so we've been going quite a while. We have an average membership of around 100 members, and we've got 11 species that we know of in Derbyshire. We've got the 3 pipistrelles, we've got all 3 big bats, the noctral Ceratine and Lysilas, we've got brown long-ears, and we've got 4 myotis, naturals Dobentons, Whiskered and Brants. We're quite a large county. We've got just shy of 3,000 square kilometres to cover. The city of Derby is in the south of the county, towards the south of the county, which means that there's a bias of membership towards the south. Having said that, we do manage to get bat box checks done across the county usually. Some of those schemes are now 20 years old, and there's still some of those boxes that were originally put up which are still there. Out of the 11 species we've got, the only 2 we haven't found in our boxes are Ceratine and Enthusiast pipistrelle. Last year, out of all the schemes that we checked, we found 184 bats in our bat boxes. And if you want a breakdown of that, there's the posters outside on the table to show you what species there were. I'm just going to throw this out there. We've noticed in some of our schemes, where we've had brown long-ears in a scheme, when noctral bats have moved in, we've noticed that they seem to displace the brown long-ears, and the same in reverse as well. This year we noticed, for the last couple of years in one of our sites, we haven't had noctral bats, and this spring we found evidence of long-ears. So if anyone's got any thoughts on that, then come and find one of us in the break, because we're quite interested to find out more about that. As well as doing the usual public side of things, we also run members' bat walks, and our March meetings have become a bit of a tradition for getting in guest speakers. We've had some really good guest speakers in the past. A year ago, the Derbyshire Mammal Group launched this book. There's a copy on the table outside if you want to have a browse through. The Mammals of Derbyshire is the first atlas that's been produced for the county, and it's a really good piece of work. The Bat Group contributed its records database, and we've read the back sections and provided photos, and it's a really good book, and it's certainly something that other groups might want to have a look at in terms of looking at for further active projects of their own. We're a county which has a lot of underground sites, probably the second most populated underground sites after Yorkshire probably. We've started doing hibernation surveys since the early 2000s. We surveyed a number of underground structures, natural sites and artificial sites, so caves, dripping wells, underground reservoirs, lead-addict mines, and that covers the entire county, all the way from the south all the way up to the Peak Districts in the north. We've been doing hibernation surveys for those last few years, but last September we did our first ever autumn swarming survey, and we found really high levels of activity just on one night. So we're looking forward to doing further project work with that, and we've just submitted a licence application to Nature England, so hopefully I'll do some trapping this autumn as well to find out more about the species which are used in those sites. Hopefully you'll have seen the last edition of Bat News, the work we've been doing at Haddon Hall, which is a privately owned estate. And we've made some really good relationships with the staff there, and we're looking forward to doing further survey work there. We weren't quite expecting when we went into the chapel just how many bats there were. The warden that took us in said, "Oh, I always watch the bats, there's lots of them fly around." Hadn't quite realised just how many. I think there were about 200 bats, so we're looking forward to going back this year with the new night vision kit that we've got to hopefully get some really good footage of that. And finally, as Matt already mentioned, the pilot enthusiast project is taking place this year as a result of last year's Bat Conservation Trust's National Enthusiast conference that took place. So again, we're looking forward to hopefully capturing some enthusiasts and finding out some decent science from that. We've got 22 known enthusiast records since this first bat was caught by a cat back in 2004. So that's it. If you don't follow us on Twitter, please do. We're currently the most followed bat group in the UK on Twitter. So whatever we're posting must be well worth following. I should point out we're only just above front mats. That's it. Cheers.
Thank you very much, Steve. Right, on to our last main talk for the pre-lunch.